1, 2, 3.
Good morning, teacher Violem, teacher of
Good morning, students. Welcome.
Morning, guys.
Okay, let's give a couple of minutes for teacher to quickly do a warm-up with us.
Okay, we're gonna do at the same time. In the left hand, deep, and the right hand, out. Yes, and then we're gonna switch. Are you ready? Yes.
Good.
Okay, 10 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, thank you everyone. Good job.
Well done, everyone. Okay, welcome back to another beautiful day of mathematics. Nice and early on a Monday. And I think that this is the best way to spend your Monday morning is by doing some mathematics. Okay, so today we're going to look at some additional word problems. Last time we quickly looked at how to calculate profit. And we say that if we have a cost price and we have a profit percentage and we want to calculate the profit amount, it's always the cost price multiplied by 15 over 100, like here. And the end result will give us our profit. And when we want to calculate the selling price, we take the profit and we add it to the cost price from here to get the total selling price. Okay, so that's what we did last time. And for today, I want us, firstly, please remember to complete the homework. We had 6 questions to do. 6 questions, page 58 and page 78 and 79. If you have not done it, please remember to complete this homework and send it to us in the line group. Okay, this week we're going to start asking to send more of the homework that you have been given back to us. Okay. So today I want to calculate with you some percentages. And we're going to look at some word problems and how we should also answer these word problems. Remember, like I always say with word problems, it's very important to read carefully and make sure you understand before you start. Also, always make sure you have either a marker or a pen with you so that we can underline or mark the important information. So let's look at the first question they give us an example of over here. Nick gets a 50 baht allowance per day. He spends 15 baht on lunch. What percentage of his allowance does he spend on lunch? Okay, so let's look at the problem and mark again. So Nick gets 50% allowance or 50 baht allowance. And of that, he spends 15 baht. So already we know it's going to be 15 over 50. But let's have a look. What percentage of his allowance does Nick spend on lunch? Okay. So what's the story of the word problem? Nick spends some of his money to buy lunch. How much does he get? 50 baht. How much does he spend? 15 baht. What does the problem ask us to solve? What percentage of his allowance does he spend on lunch? So we have already all the information we need. So there are 2 possible ways to solve the problem. Nick gets an allowance of 50. He spends 15. If Nick gets an allowance of 100 baht, how much would he spend? That would be 30. then he would spend 30. Or we can convert a fraction into a percent. Nick gets an allowance of 50 and he spends 15. So over here. The first one over here, rule 3, is what they're trying to do is to work with 100. Very easy to find the percentage if we have 100. But sometimes doing it this way, we might make mistakes or not answer it properly. So I like to use the second method. So over here, they calculate everything for us. I'll do it on the whiteboard, so it's a little bit easier to see. So they say he gets 50 baht. Spend 15 baht. And we want to know what percentage he spends. So for this one, they don't already give us a percentage. They want us to calculate the percentage. So firstly, we always know we can calculate a percentage by taking what he spends, divide by 50, multiply by 100 over 1. Why? Because percentage always has 100 there. Remember, always work with 100 when we work with a percentage. I'll show you why now. So 15 times 100 equals 1,500. Divide by 50 equals 30%. Okay, that's if we multiply by 100 at the beginning. But let's not do that. Let's calculate it in this way. 15 over 50 as a percentage. Must pay attention. 15 divided by 50. So 50 cannot go into 15, so we put a dot, decimal point, and a 0. So 50 divided by 150 equals 3. Remember to bring the decimal point to the top. Now we have 0.3. And if we convert 0.3 to a percentage, we will get to 30%. Why? Because to get to a percentage, we multiply by 100. Okay. So that's the explanation. Do you all understand? Yes or no? Okay, let's see if you can answer the following questions. So here's another example, but let's first look at some questions. Use the 4 steps to solve world problems, but only show the execution step. You can use any of the 2 methods. So let's read over here. And I want you guys to do this with me. So please pay attention. Also, look at how I mark the question so that you can do the same. First, we read. Number 1. Thomas gets an 800 baht weekly allowance. He spends 560 baht this week. What percentage of his allowance did he spend this week? So he has 800 or gets 800. He spends 560. What percentage did he spend this week? Okay, so that's how we mark the question to get the information we need. You can actually mark this one here as well. Now, who can tell me where do we start to answer? So where will we start? our answer? Who can tell me? Where do we start? Anyone? Let's see. I want you guys to try and do it for me. Do it on the board. Let's see how you do. If you can do it. You can start on the. You can start now on the board. You can start. Anyone? Anyone going to try? Okay, we have an 800. Is the 800 on top or at the bottom of the fraction?
70%.
70%. Okay, let's write it down here. Tantan say is 70%. But I want to know, how do we calculate it, Tantan? Can you help me? Hmm?
8 multiply with 7.
Say again, please. Say again, please.
8 multiply with 7.
8 multiply 7.
And then multiply 10.
Multiply 10. Okay, that's one way. Let's look at another way we can look is use 560 over 800. Remember, on top we put what he spent. How much did he spend? Goes on top, and what he gets at the bottom. Okay. So the first thing we can do is simplify the fraction. So first we take the 560 and the 800, divide by 10 to give us 56 over 80. Now we can simplify even more by dividing by 4. If we divide by 4, we're going to get 56 divided by 4 equals 14. Is it 14? Yeah, it's 14. And 80 divided by 4 equals 20. So now we have 14 over 20 after we simplify. And now when we have 14 over 20, it's very easy to divide. So 14 divided by 20. So it cannot, for 20 can't go into 14. We put a zero, a dot and a 0. 20 divided by 140 equals 7. 140 over here will equal 0. Remember to bring up the decimal point. 0.7. 0.7 multiplied by 10 will give us 70%. Okay. Do you guys understand how to do the simplification? Remember, when we simplify, we have to do that at the top. We do the same as at the bottom. Divide 40 on top, divide 40 at the bottom. And this will equal 70%. Okay, you guys have to ask if you do not understand, please, because I'm going to ask you to do some on your own. And if you don't understand, it might be difficult. Guys, number 2, let's all work together here and pay some attention. Let's see if we can answer number 2. A watermelon grower harvested 280 watermelons on his farm. He managed to sell 140 of them on the first day. What percentage of watermelons did he sell on the first day? So how much did he get? Who can tell me? How many watermelons did he get? Anyone? How many watermelons did he get? You guys understand? Or are you guys not listening? I want someone to answer my question. Otherwise, I just give all of these work for homework. If you don't understand, it's not my fault. How many watermelons did the grower get? He got 280 watermelons. Excellent. How many did he sell?
140.
140. Very good. So what percentage did he sell? So how will we write that? Start with 140 over 280. Multiply by 100 over 1. So,
ยอดปิดไม้ด้วย
how do we calculate this one? Who knows? What do we have to do with the fraction on the left first over here? What do we do first? Step number 1. What is step 1 over here? We simplify. We simplify the fraction. Why? To make it easier for us to multiply and divide. So first we simplify. How do we simplify? We have to divide at the top and divide at the bottom. Okay, who can tell me with what will we simplify? We will divide by what?
14.
Divide by 14. What about divide by 140? Okay, if we say 14, we're going to get 10 over 20. If we divide by 140, we're going to get 1 over 2. So let's divide by 140, we get 1 over 2. And that as a percentage equals 1 over 2 multiply 100 over 1 equals what percentage? Who can tell me? What's our answer in percentage?
50.
50. Excellent. Well done. It is 50% or a half. So how do if you write it like this, why do I tell you to write times 100 over 1? Because if you look at it, you can say 1 multiplied by 100 equals 100. And 2 multiply 1 equals 2. 100 divided by 2 equals 50%. Equals 50%. Okay. So that's for number 2. We have 2 more that I want to do. Let's see if we can get through them. So let's read carefully again from the start. Alfie bought an iron for 400 baht. He sold it for 500 baht. What percentage profit?
percent.
Excuse me?
25%.
25%. Okay, let's write it down. But we first have to calculate. We have to show the calculation as well. We cannot just give the answer. So let's look. He bought it for 400 baht. Then he sold it for 500. So he sold it for more. He made a profit. So what was the percentage? How do we calculate that again? What is the percentage profit? Does anyone know how to calculate that? You guys can draw on the board if you feel like it, or you can tell me what I should write. It's up to you. But how do we start this question? Who can help me here? Does anyone know how to start? Let's see what Jasmine's doing here. Okay. 500 divided by 400. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. If we solve this question, that's fine. You put 500.
500 minus 400.
Okay, let's start there. That sounds better. 500 minus 400. Why? Why do we do that, Leon? Do you know? Do you know why we minus?
Because it's so.
Because we want to know what is the profit amount. How much profit did he make? So when we work with percentage, we always want to also know what profit. So this question we have to read very carefully. Because first we want to get the profit. So our profit equals 100 baht. So now we have the profit. Now they ask us what percentage profit that he made. So now we know we have to work with the 100 profit over 400. Why 400? because that's what he paid. That's what he paid for it. So we want to calculate the profit. You use the cost price, which is the money you pay, and you add the profit to get the selling price. So we pay 400, made 100 profit, sold it for 500. So we say 100 over 400 multiply 100 over 1. Okay, so this one's going to be 100 over 4 equals 25%. When we want to calculate the percentage profit, always over the cost price. So Tantan, your answer was 100% correct, but you must tell me the explanation of how you calculate as well. Okay. So number 4. Patricia bought a purse for 750 baht. She later sold it to her friend for 600 baht. Did Patricia make a profit or loss? What do you think? Did she make a profit or loss? She bought for 750, sold for 600. Can anyone tell me, did she make a profit or a loss?
Loss.
A loss, excellent. A loss. Because she sold it for less than she bought it. So now we have to mark. Bought is our purchase price, 750. She then sold it to a friend for 600, selling price. So what percentage loss? So first we have to calculate the loss. How do we do that?
20%.
Okay, 20%, Tantan say, we put it at the bottom. Let's see if that's correct. But how do we calculate the loss? You can tell me. The 750, which is the purchase price, minus the selling price, equals the loss of how much?
$150.
150, excellent. So now we have the loss amount. So we know we have to use the loss when we calculate the percentage. But what number is going to be our denominator? What number is the denominator going to be? 750 or 600?
600.
Why?
Because
Why? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Remember what I said earlier. When we sell, that's the money that we get. But when we buy, that's the money we spend. So we always want to calculate our profit or loss on the money we spend. So here we spend money. So if we calculate a profit or loss percentage, we have to use the money we spend. Always use the purchase price or bought price or pay price. Always if you have that, always use that. So it's going to be 150 over 750. And that, if we're going to simplify, divide by 150 on top and divide by 150 at the bottom. So equals 1 over 5. Multiply by 100 over 1 equals 100 divide by 5, which is going to equal to 20%. If you guys are not with me, you have to also tell me. I'm not sure if you guys understand or not. So your answer, Tantan, was 100% correct. Excellent. But remember, when we answer the questions, especially word problems, we have to show all calculations. All of these will give you marks. So you have to show all your calculations. It's very important. Okay. Do all of you understand what we are doing? Is there anyone that does not understand? Please tell me now, so we can repeat or make sure that all the information you receive is correct. So are you guys all happy? Good? Excited? Okay. So that's all that I wanted to do today for mathematics. Just to do some word problems. On the next lesson tomorrow, we'll do some additional exercise plus some self-evaluation for homework. So before we finish off the day or the lesson, I want to give you guys the opportunity to beat me in rock, paper, scissors. Oh, and I see a lot more students have joined us. Please, if you do not understand any of the information, please re-watch the video that's going to be posted on YouTube a bit later. Okay, so are you guys ready for the first rock, paper, scissors of the week? Let's get ready. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh.
Who is
I'm
winning
lost.
me? No one beat me. Boss, what did you choose?
Paper.
You got paper. Unlucky. Oh, boss also chose paper. Oh, unlucky, you guys. So teacher today is still victorious. Okay. But I'll see you guys in the afternoon. Thank you all for coming. Even for those that showed up a little bit later. Thank you all for being here. Have a good day. And I'll see you again in the afternoon for English. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.